Yeah. I mean, we can discuss Davante Adams joining the Jets.
See, that's what the Jets are about to do is what I call all in. Because the Jets,
They ain't got no choice.
But that's what they're going to go, all in. Because now you have to figure out, they're going to have to do something with Hassan Reddick because he's big time. He can make a difference.
Well, they gave him an opportunity to seek a trade.
Either you're going to get rid of him and get some people, or you're going to get this man his money, and y'all are really going to go all in. Because not to make the playoffs is going to be, it's going to be ugly in New York. Like it's going to be ugly.
With your boy at quarterback.
And if they don't make the playoffs, it's going to get ugly.
Well, it's supposed to be more than them making the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They supposed to be going deep into the playoffs.
I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
I got you. I feel you because they ain't been in there since 2010.
Right now, just making the playoffs is
it's
going to be a task at hand.
With Aaron Rodgers, they're supposed to be going deep in the playoffs.
Remember when I gave my quarterback list and Aaron Rodgers was out there? People were like, why Aaron? Because it's right here.
You in New York, they don't expect they Super Bowl or bust for them.
Do y'all expect any changes with Davante coming in? Do you expect the Jets to be?
It is.
Do you expect the Jets to improve?
They should. So. They should. I mean, if they don't,
trade.
They made a trade like that. They should. The fact of the matter is, it's the off-schedule that Aaron Rodgers do that he gets away with that him and Davante knows about. So everybody else is precision, precise. You know what I'm saying? This and the third. So like some of them throws that he done, if you go back and look at him when they was at Green Bay, he was able to. That's how Davante made his money. So Wilson is not locked in, or any other receiver's not locked in. Well, I'm surprised Lazard because he came out of Green Bay. But when Aaron throw those off the schedule throws like that, he's anticipating his receivers to be there and know that. So Davante is supposed to be that element of being able, which it helps out Garrett Wilson because now they're gonna have to roll their coverage to Davante, which that'll give Garrett Wilson one-on-one coverage. He should be able to get off.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Jets schedule coming up and how much of a difference it'll make.
It'll help.
It'll help. I think Hassan Reddick is more helpful than Davante.
Oh, he's a wild card for sure.
That's just how I feel. I feel like Hassan Reddick, like on defense, he's a monster. He really is. So they're going to have to figure out how to get that tied up one way or another. But I don't know if the Jets make the playoffs.
It's very iffy right now.
I'm looking at their schedule. You're looking at their schedule too. The Jaguars.
The gimme games they had, they lost to, like Denver.
That's the NFL. The gimme games you're supposed to win. If you lose them, it's a wrap.
Now the pressure's on to win the other games and stuff.
You got the Cardinals coming.
They should win that. They should win that.
Patriots is easy.
The Cardinals should be a good win.
Yeah.
Then you have the iffy games, the Colts.
They should win that because the Colts. Well, the only reason why I say that because the Colts they still having issues at quarterback. Now when they have Flacco in the game, they're formidable. Now they're going back to Richardson now. He came back from his injury and Richardson hasn't been solid. He hasn't shown that ability yet to move the offense like how it's supposed to. So if Richardson is still in, that's a game they could possibly win. So that's 3 wins right there they can get. Miami, same thing because Tua is back. Tua doesn't
be back by the time they play.
Right. So does that? But the fact of the matter is, even if he is, if he don't, it's still going to affect the team overall. So that's 4 wins right there.
The Jets don't have it that bad. They got to play Pittsburgh Sunday, then they got to play the Texans on the 31st.
That's a tough game.
And then Buffalo on the 29th.
They had a chance to beat Buffalo.
Yeah, but I mean every other team is either even or under 500.
So they got a chance.
Yeah,
they just gotta.
They got about 3 games.
They got to because they're on a 3-game losing streak.
Oh yeah,
they have to turn it around because they're on a 3-game losing streak.
Well, one thing,
the Steelers up next.
Yeah, one thing.
Possibly 4 games.
2-4.
Right, one thing for sure, you can't sit here and say it was Salah. So
they all play a part, but I don't know. I'm still.
you can't play a part. You can't play a part if you don't handpick. If you coming in to an organization and you're the head coach, you pretty much have some type of say as far as what quarterback you want and everything. I mean, look at the Commanders.
What I'm saying is, Aaron Rodgers definitely holds the big part of the bag, but Salah probably had his parts too. But to me, Aaron Rodgers.
How so when he's a defensive minded coach? Isn't his team a top 10 defense? Yes, it is. Hasn't his team given the offense a chance to win? Yes, they have. Why they not winning on the offensive side of the ball?
So he
didn't have the ability to change offensive coordinators.
Got to play a little bit better then. I mean, look,
that don't make sense, bro. If the defense don't win, defense win championship. He's top 10.
Maybe you need to be number 1.
Nah, maybe he should have got the opportunity like every other head coach and change staff, because remember the offensive coordinator was handpicked, Aaron Rodgers. So again, he's coming into a situation to where that's not what he picked. It's picked for him. Whereas every other coach picks their staff.
I'm just saying. You're saying he's the defensive coach, your defense top 10.
And he's doing, and defense is doing his job. So if we looked at all the games, it's been lost in Aaron Rodgers' hands. So how you gonna put that on him?
I'm just saying.
And then look what happened. You changed offensive coordinators, right? You had the opportunity to win. Who ball was in the hands again? Aaron Rodgers.
Look.
Come on, man. You talk about a Hall of Fame. We talk about a Hall of Famer coach.
Rodgers holds the majority of the bag.
He holds 75% of this.
Salah held some of it too.
How? When he didn't pick this.
Like I said, if your defense is top 10, maybe it need to be top 5.
Nah, how about this? How about give me an opportunity to pick who the I want to pick, and I ride it out with that. I die out with that.
But like you're saying, if you're not a offensive coach, why am I going to let you pick offensive stuff?
No, he picked his staff. Meaning he picks from defensive assistants, offensive coordinators. He picked all of that. He did not pick what's the name? That was handpicked by Aaron Rodgers. And he was the worst coach in the league. Why? Because he had 1 year as a head coach and got fired.
Top 10 defense should have been top 5.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying.
Too much. That's not
top 3.
Okay. So then again, look at the teams that we just talked about. Jacksonville 1-4, Cincinnati 1-4. They offensive doing what they job, but their defense ain't doing shit. Did their head coaches get fired? No, they did.
See, who were the teams you just named?
Cincinnati. They're Super Bowl. They supposed to be
have been winning the past couple seasons. Who was the other team you named? The Jets haven't been good.
No, I'm not saying.
So you don't get time when you're not good. You're never good.
Okay, so if I'm gonna lose my job, let it be who I fucking pick, not somebody pick for me. That's the difference. And the difference is, you look at all the other situations, the coaches pick that shit themselves. So it's one thing to get fired based off who I pick versus somebody picking for me.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. Yeah. Because he's talking this, but he's a Dallas Cowboy fan. Jerry Jones runs everything. The coach don't get to pick who he wants, does he?
No,
what
he
is he talking about?
Hold on. No. Mike McCarthy. Everybody. Yes, he did. Everybody on Mike McCarthy's staff, he picked him. So stop.
Okay.
Stop. Okay. Every damn near every successful coach on any damn level, they pick their team. That's how they do it.
You're telling me Jerry Jones is not picking people that he
So you telling me Sirianni didn't handpick everybody that's on his team.
So when
yes or no? Did Sirianni pick everybody on his coaching staff?
I'm sure he did not.
I'm
sure Lori brought that in.
Huh?
Just like I'm gonna ask you a question.
Really?
When Kellen Moore was the OC, is that who Garrett wanted as the OC?
That's who Garrett wanted?
Jerry Jones wanted as the OC. Come on now.
That was the only time that happened.
Talk football with me
I'm
now.
talking football.
I know what I'm talking
so,
about.
So if you're going to tell me about my team, sir, let me break it down to you. In that case,
I'm saying that the coach don't always get the pick.
No. Do not cherry pick. What you're doing is cherry picking. I'm about to tell you what happened that year. Garrett was a lame duck coach, just like Mike McCarthy is right now. So he put what's the coordinator you just said?
Kellen.
He put Kellen in that position that year because yes, how many years that what's the name had that Garrett had that position? He broke even. Now in this situation here, right? Mike McCarthy picked his. The difference between him and Garrett, Mike McCarthy is a Super Bowl coach. Garrett hasn't won, so that's the difference. So he's given. If Jerry Jones had picked somebody on Mike McCarthy's staff, trust and believe, we would have known about that. He didn't chose. So we got situations.
It's not new that
I didn't say it was.
Bring his staff in. The GM
what I'm
usually picks who the GM wants.
No, they don't. When a GM hires a coach, the coach pick his staff. From defensive to offense. It doesn't matter whether you're on the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball. You pick your staff that works for you. The GM does that. Now, when you got the owners and when the owners getting involved and hand picking, that means your days are numbered regardless. He did not pick Aaron Rodgers. That was picked for him. He did not pick the offensive coordinator. That was picked for him. That's all I'm just saying. But as far as what he did, though, he did his job. The defense have him in position to win. It's the offense who didn't win, like we saw just last week.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is really going to be under the gun now.
Well, he been under the gun. The point is, anytime you got somebody who's gone to Africa, to Egypt, rather than being OTAs with your damn receivers, so you can get on board. So when you get out here in situational games, you can actually execute. That's a difference.
We had a real conversation. Aaron Rodgers is not the same Aaron Rodgers.
It's not Green Bay Aaron Rodgers. I'll tell you
again,
that.
so that makes it more prevalent for his ass to be there, the OTAs and stuff, to be in tune with your receivers then, because you're not the old Aaron Rodgers, and the fact that he wasn't there is showing on the field. That's all.
They just think it's the old Aaron Rodgers, and that's not who.
Hey, man, like I said, man, I'm gonna say this: that Robert Saleh situation, he didn't get fired because of that. He got fired because, like I said, he shown support for the Lebanese people. He's a Lebanese, and he had that Lebanese patch on the Jets uniform, which that's a no. That's what he got fired for. But I sent you the link in when somebody asked him the question. TMZ asked him the question. He avoided that question, and he said, "Will we see you again back on the field?" He said, "Yeah," and got in his truck and left. He could have came right now and came back to the league, but he didn't want to, because some cases, it depends on your contract, how it's written. If you take another position within the same year that you get fired, whatever case may be, you might lose that money. So a lot of them wait like 6 months to a year, so they collect their whole cash. So when they go see somewhere else and get employment somewhere else, they still get their money.
Mm-hmm. So he definitely gonna get a job again.
Yeah. He got people right now wanting him to come back and work right now. Right now.
All right.
It's always a plus to know.